This top one is humus.
Yes.
Then we have the A zone, the topsoil. What we have? Topsoil. Followed by B zone, that is subsoil. Then we have the C zone, the bedrock or the parent material. And imagine, just imagine over here, these are the huge rocks piled on top of one another and they are being weathered. Can you see this? See the small pieces. Can you see this over here? So the big rock pieces are breaking down into small pieces and that is called as weathered parent material. Do you understand?
Yes.
Can you see this? See how strongly it is over here. It's
Yes.
bedrock. It's complete bedrock. Can you see this? And now here they have started weathering. Can you see this? They've shown you the ways the weathering is taking place. See, it's a very fine crack. Then the crack is quite deepened. Yes, and see how the crack is being deepened by a piece of rock. You see over here how the crack is widening up. So this is the formation
Yes.
of small pieces of rock by the process which is known as weathering. Okay. First top layer is humus, followed by topsoil, then subsoil, and the bedrock. Is it clear? Can you see over here? So we have got four levels of soil: humus, topsoil, subsoil, bedrock. If we have done some particular slide, you just let me know. Then we can go ahead. Okay. Now I take a piece of soil and take a glass of water. Add that a tablespoon of soil and then stir it. Allow it to settle for some time. What we'll see? See over here? The organic matter, which is the humus, will float on top. Can you see this over here? It is floating on top because it is the lightest of all. Right? Followed by, you can see water and then a fine particle which is known as clay. So what you will see which is floating in the water, it is clay. Okay? Followed by sand. It could be fine sand on top and thick sand at the bottom, but it will follow by sand. Then we have gravel and pebbles, the big size pieces of rocks, the gravel and pebbles which will be at the bottom. Understand, beta? So according to the size of grains of particles, the sedimentation will take place. So from here we can make out that the silt is the smallest of all, followed by sand, then fine pebbles, then medium pebbles, and then the rough pebbles. So as the size of the particles increases, it will sediment at the bottom. Have you done this slide, beta? Parts of soil. Hello, girls. Girls, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please read the slide.
Ma'am, shall I?
Yeah, sure.
Parts of soil. As you know, weathering of rocks produces small particles of various materials. These include sand and clay depends upon
These,
the
beta.
rock from which.
Just a moment. It is these. It is not
What,
this.
ma'am?
It is these. Thesc. And how you pronounce? You pronounce as this. There's a variation. There's a difference between this and these. Yes or no? Yes? Say it again. Say it again. Read it
Ma'am,
again.
ma'am, what are you telling? I am not able to hear.
Okay. I said THESC is these, not this. You pronounce
Okay,
it
ma'am.
as this, so read it again. That's what I said.
Okay, ma'am. These include sand and
Thank you.
clay depends upon the rock from which the particles were formed. That is the present rock. The mixture of rock particles and humans is called the soil. Living
Humus, beta.
organisms such as what man?
It is humus. Mixture of rock
The
particles and
mixture of rock
humus.
particles and
Humus.
okay, ma'am. Humus is called the soil. Living organisms such as bacteria, plant roots, and earthworm are also important parts of any soil.
Thank you. Now, what we know about weathering, that we are breaking, not we, but the nature is breaking big rock pieces into small rock pieces, right? That is the meaning of weathering. What do you say? So, weathering is producing small particles of different type of rocks. Now, it can be sand, it can be clay, from which they are originated. That means it depends upon the rock from where it has come, from where the particles are formed. So the mixture of rock particles and humus, along with humus, what it is called as soil. So soil is made up of humus and the rock particles. What else we get in soil? We get living organisms, for example, bacteria. We also have the roots of plants spreading under the soil, and also we have the friend of farmer, which is otherwise known as earthworm. They're also very important portion of the soil. So they're also available in the soil. Understood all of you, beta? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Now we come to types of soil. What are the types of soil available in nature? Please read.
Can I, ma'am?
Yes, you have to give me a name, huh? All of you. Say can I
Can
and then
I?
give me a name. One by one, beta.
Pani. Ma'am, can I Gabrani Sakina?
Okay?
Zainab Rupani.
Okay, afterwards.
Can I
Zainab
share
Rupani?
Misbah?
After Zainab Rupani. Okay, beta? All of you will get
Okay, ma'am.
chance. Okay, start.
Types of soil. The soil is classified on the proportion of the particles
Proportion.
of the
Don't read it wrongly, beta. Please. The soil is
proportion,
classified on the
proportion,
proportion of particles.
proportion of the particles of the various sizes.
Beta, where is
If soil
the? Just a moment. Sakina, why you are adding the in between?
of various sizes. Yes, ma'am.
Please be careful. Thank you.
If soil
Then,
contains if soil contains
uh,
greater proportion of the
there's
big
no the.
particles
There's
of
no the. You have to be careful, otherwise I will give chance to others, beta. You will
of
not
big
include the when it is not required.
big particles, it is called sand soil. If the proportion of the fine particles is relatively higher, then it is called clayey soil. If the amount of the large and fine particles is about the, the same, then it's called loamy soil.
Fine. So what do you understand? How many types of soil do we have? Three, right? Depending upon the size of particles, we classify into sandy, clay, and loamy soil. So let's talk about the sandy soil. So the proportion, the ratio. What is the proportion? It means the ratio. If the ratio of the big particle is more, then it is called sandy soil. If ratio of fine particle is more or high, then it is called clay soil. If the ratio of fine and big particles are same. Then it is called as loamy soil. Understood? Understood, beta?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now, what about the soil structure?
Structure.
Yes, read. Zainab?
Ma'am, now I read
Yes.
Sakina Gubran. Soil structure. Point one, combination or arrangement of primary soil particles. Point two, soil particles are uh, sand, silt, clay.
That's it. Now, how does sand, silt, and clay look like? See, this is sand, this is silt, and this is clay. So, out of these three, which one is better? This is better.
Sand or silt.
Sand is better. Which is better? Silt is better. Why? Because it is a combination of sand and clay. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Fine. Now
Ma'am,
we
can
will
I
see
read
one by
Sheikh
one.
Misbah?
Yes, we'll see one by one how the soil looks like. What is the properties of the soil? Yes, safe whisper. Yes,
Sandy
better
soil.
start.
Sand soils are often dry, deficient, and fast draining. They have little ability to transport water from deeper layers through
Capillary,
transport. Delayed
capillary transport.
transport. Tillage of sandy soils in the spring should be kept to in order to retain moisture in the seedbed. Meaning
Hmm.
of tillage: the preparation of land for growing crops. The preparation of
That's it.
land
It's the
for
same thing. It's the
growing
same thing.
crops.
That's it. Now, sandy soil is what? As the name suggests, sandy soil. Where do we get the sandy soil? Near the coastline, right? The beaches. We get the sandy soil near the beaches, near the sea, yes, or the coastline.
Lecture is over. Wow. Yay. Bye bye.
No? Who is it? Please be careful, better. So sand soils, they are actually dry because they have big particles and they don't have any nutrients. Why? Because there's no humus and they do not retain water, so it is fast draining. That means they don't hold on to the water. The water just drains. So you don't get the capillary transport system as you get in silt or clay soil. You understand? Because there it is holding the water, whereas the sandy soil do not hold water. You agree with me?
Yes.
Fine. Now, if you really want to make a seed bed of sandy soil, there are some places where we are doing the agriculture on sandy soil. So it should be done during spring so that the moisture can be retained in the seed bed. What actually is the meaning of tillage? It is that we are making the land ready for sowing the seeds or for growing the crops. That is called as tillage. You know what is tillage? We do it by plow. Remember? We take the help of the tractor. So what we do? We till the soil before sowing the seed. So tilling means uh, bringing up the bottom soil and the please be careful. Please put off your mic better. And the topsoil goes underneath. So why are we doing so? So that the soil can breathe properly. So we break the large chunks of soil into small pieces so that the aeration improves in the soil. Next one is clay soil. Yes, better. Who will take up?
Ma'am, can I?
Yes,
Ma'am,
you.
can I?
You have to give me a name, Beta.
Sakina Gabrani. Himani Sakina.
You had all, Sakina Ghabrani, you had already read one slide, I think so. Yeah, we should give chance to all of you
Ma'am, can
friends.
I?
Okay. Yes, what's the name, Beta?
Himani Sakina.
Okay.
Clay soil. Clay soil is the fine grained natural rock or a soil material that combines one or more clay minerals with traces of metal. Variable amount of the water trapped in the mineral structure, depending on the content of the soil. Clay, clay can appear in the various colors, from white to dull gray or brown
Dull,
to the
dull.
deep
It's dull, Beta.
dull,
From white to
dull
dull
gray,
gray.
white to dull gray, or brown
Yes.
to deep orange to orange red.
Okay, Beta. Thank you. Thank you. Good. So when you read, do you understand what you're reading, Beta?
Yes,
Yes, Sakina. Are you able to understand what you're reading or what you just read out?
yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I may be asking you certain questions later, so be careful. Be attentive, be
Ma'am,
alert. So I may ask you, yes, Beta?
ma'am, what the meaning of rays?
Grain, the size of the particle, that is first grain. Grain actually we talk about, we relate it with the food crops. For example, the rice, the wheat,
Okay.
these are grains, yes? But now we are talking about the particles, that is the sand particles or clay particles as grain. Okay, beta? So it is very fine particles, natural rock, which combines uh, with other types of clay soil. And always remember the soil also have got some traces of metals. Remember that. Okay. Now, in clay soil, the most important feature is that it holds the water. So there is water logging. What it is called as water logging. That means it doesn't allow the water to drain. And if I grow a plant in that type of soil, you know what will happen? The root will decay. The root will decompose because it is having extra water which it does not require. Now, for example, I'll give an example. Okay, uh, I soak certain grains or I soak some pulses. Your mother was be doing that at night time, and I soak it for one day. Yes, and I don't change the water. I keep it for another day. It will become slimy. You will get a bad smell. Have you ever observed that? Have you ever observed it? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever observed it? What questions I put for just now? Did you understand? That I have soaked certain pulses. You know, pulses means dal. It could be chana, it could be any type of dal. And I soak it for overnight. And I don't change the water. I keep it for another day. It will start smelling. Have you ever observed like this? Something like this,
Yes,
have you
ma'am.
ever observed? Yes, it will start smelling. That means it has started decomposing. So too much of water, more than what is required, is also harmful for the plant. And the same thing happens over here, that the root needs optimum amount of water, sufficient amount of water, but not more and not less. So if the water does not drain, it will start decaying the roots and it's going to be harmful for the crops. So this is what happens in the clay soil. Now what this soil is made up of, depending on the content of the soil, maybe the metal which is present in the soil, the clay can have different types of colors. They could be white and they could be gray. The gray is like elephant color, huh? Remember that. Gray is like elephant color. Or it could be brown colored soil or deep orange red color. Now, if it is orange red, that shows that the soil is rich in iron. Remember that. If it is orangish red color soil you ever find that shows that the soil is very rich in iron. Understood, beta? See, this is what we make from clay. Can you see this? The articles, it's all clay articles. Yes? See, this is diya. There's some ornaments, not ornaments, something to decorative items. These are all decorative items. And see how the pots are being made with the help of clay soil. Understood? So this is how we are using the clay soil in all these items. Okay, now we come to loamy soil. Please start to read. Yes, beta, start to read. Yes, beta. Hello.
Ma'am, I read. No one is.
Yes, yes. What's your name?
Sakina Gabrani.
So no one is there.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Read then.
Loamy soil. Point 1. Loam is a soil composed mostly of sand and a smaller amount of clay.
Then
Used in farming. Point 2. Loam is considered ideal for grinding and
it's ideal.
uh, agriculture uses because it
Agricultural, beta.
retains.
Just a moment, Sakina.
Yes.
First you said ideal. It is ideal. Ideal is ideally.
Idle.
Just a
Okay.
minute. I will show you. You said ideal, right? You agree?
Yes.
This is the
Yes.
spelling of ideal. Ideally is the spelling of ideal, right? And what this is
Yes.
what you have pronounced. So you will pronounce as ideal. What you will pronounce as?
Ideal.
Very good. You understood this? Then we come to agricultural. Say with me, beta.
Yes.
Agricultural. Cultural.
Agricultural.
Now you understood?
Cultural.
Very good.
Yes.
Very. This is how you will improve, beta. Okay? Can we
Yes.
read it again? Can we read it again, beta?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Say, loam is considered.
Loam is considered ideal for a gardening
Gardening.
and
Break it.
gardening
And say
and
agri.
agricultural.
Very good. See, cultural.
Agricultural
Very good.
uses because it retains nutrients well and retains water while still allowing excess water to drain away.
Good. Well tried. You have to do a bit of practice also at home. Whenever you get time, start practicing for reading purpose. Okay,
Okay.
beta? Okay, thank you. You will improve, don't worry. So what is loamy soil? It is combination of which type of soil, beta? Just now I said 50-50% sand soil and clay soil. So it's a combination of sand soil and clay soil. That is loamy soil. Where do we use? We use in farming, agricultural practices. So that is ideal. That is perfect for gardening purpose and agricultural uses. Why? There has to be a reason why loamy soil is best. Why? Because it can hold the water optimally. Not more, not less, as well as nutrients which is present in the soil. And whatever excess water is available to the soil, it drains away. It doesn't go for giving the water to the root. What is not required, it drains away. Understand? So there is no water logging system in loamy soil. Yes. Next.
Ma'am, can I?
Who is it? Sakina.
Sakina Bhimani.
Okay, fine. Read beta.
Loamy soil composed of roughly the same amount of the three textures: clay, slate, sand, and organic matter. Loose and rich. When you squeeze it, forms a ball that crumbles when poked. Good and absorbing and sorting water.
Storing.
Best
Hello.
storing of water.
Okay.
Storing water. Best for plant growth.
Understood now? Yes. Can you see over here? What is first better?
Clay.
Say finest
Clay.
particle. Yes. This we do not use for agriculture purpose. Right? Then what we have?
Slit.
Silt. Combination of clay and
Silt.
sandy. This is what we require. What is the bottom? What is at the bottom?
Sand.
Sand. Not useful for agriculture. Now, hope you have understood. Because silt is a combination of clay and sand. You understood now?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello? Right. Good. You have understood nicely, right? So, this soil have got the mixtures of all the grains, and one plus point is that it is rich in humus. It's got lots of organic substances. It can absorb and it can even store water for further absorption by roots. The best soil for plant growth. This is the best soil for plant growth. See over here, the first one is sandy soil. So this is sandy soil. This is sandy soil. What you get in desert, right? Second is clay soil. Here, this is clay soil. And this is, the third one is loamy soil. A combination of desert and clay. Any problem?
No, ma'am.
Any problem with that? What are properties of soil? Please say. Yes, read.
Ma'am, I
Okay. You have to give me a
properties
name,
of
please. Whenever
ma'am
you say
Sakina
I, you have
only.
to. Okay, fine. But there's no one else who wants to take part with the. If they are
Don't
unmuting
know.
themselves, that means they want to take part. Okay, fine. That means all of them are muted.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Start.
Properties of soil. The three properties of soil are absorption of soil, moisture of soil, percolation of soil.
No. See how you have to read it, beta. Say per. Say per.
Pre,
Co.
per,
Co.
co,
Le.
co, le,
Le. Shun.
le, shun.
Shun. Percolation. You have to cut it.
Percolation.
The big word should be separated and then you can read it out. Percolation. So it becomes percolation. Okay, so we separate it out and then read it. So percolation of water means what? Now this is the surface of the land, right? The rain is falling. It trickles down. It seeps inside the soil. The rate at which it goes inside the soil and from water table, what it forms? Water table is known as percolation. The other name is called as seepage. What it is known as, beta? What is the other name of percolation, beta? Seepage. How much water goes down under the soil and becomes water table for further use is known as percolation. Okay? Okay? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what is percolation?
Is
It is the process
of liquid slowly passing through
passing
the
through
filter.
the filter. Okay, through the filter. So that is known as percolation. How much it goes inside. So the properties of soil are absorption. What is absorption? Obviously water, right? That's the first property. Second is moisture of soil. How much water is present in the soil? Third, percolation. How much water will trickle down the earth, trickle down the layer and become the water table. That is called as percolation. These are the properties of soil. Yes, we'll do it again. Please, start button.
Ma'am, I read
Who is reading?
Ghabrani Sakina.
Okay. All Sakinas are reading, I think so. Right? Okay. Read it better.
Okay, ma'am.
And read it
Properties
carefully.
of soil. Percolation rate of water in soil. Formula of rate percolation is percolation rate ml
Milliliter.
m minimum.
Milliliter. Milliliter
Uh,
per,
milliliter and
per,
minimum.
per
Ma'am, your voice is
milliliter
not
per.
proper.
Now,
Yes, it's proper.
milliliter per minute. What you will say? Milliliter per minute.
Milliliter and per minute.
Per minute. Okay, thank you.
Per minute.
Then
Amount amount of water
milliliter,
milliliter percolation time minimum
minute it is
minutes
better.
minutes. Moisture in moisture is difficult to define because it means different things in different
Disciplines.
disciplines.
Disciplines. Disciplines.
Disciplines. For example, that of a water resource manager or a weather uh,
Forecaster.
forecaster generally. However, soil
Moisture.
moisture is the water that is held in the space between soil
Spaces.
particles.
So
Spaces
better
between
you really
soil
have to work
particles.
hard. Huh? You have to work hard for reading purpose better. Start
Ye-
practicing right away. I repeat
Okay, ma'am.
again. I request you start reading right away at home. Start practicing. Okay, you will do well. Don't worry. So now we are going to do properties of soil once again. So what is percolation rate? Now that is the amount of water in milliliter which is taken in per minute. How much water has gone inside in 1 minute? That is going to be the percolation rate. Now we come to soil moisture. Now how do I define it? Because we know that soil moisture changes, the definition of soil moisture changes according to the people who are using it. For example, a farmer. For a farmer, the soil moisture is something different as compared to weather forecaster, like the moisture. Now, for a weather forecaster, moisture will be presence of water vapor in the atmosphere, isn't it? Whereas for farmer, it is presence of water in the soil. See, a difference. The moisture, it becomes different for different people. So soil moisture is amount of water which we observe in between the soil particles. So the soil, the water which is trapped between the soil particles in the soil are called as moisture of soil. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Now we come to soil permeability. So what is the meaning of permeability? Allowance of water to pass. How much water can pass through a particular soil is called as the permeability rate. Okay? Start. Read it better. Please read it.
No one, ma'am.
Okay, you continue then.
Ma'am, I left.
Can I?
Yes,
Can I?
better.
Ma'am, can
Yes.
I read?
Sure, sure. No one was there. That's why Sakina was continuing better.
Ma'am, Bharmal, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Carry on.
Rate at which water and air moves through the soil.
Okay.
Sand. High prem
Permeability. Say per
per
meter
me uh,
ability.
meet
Permeability. Okay.
per milli
Permeability.
water
Yes.
move through qu- quickly
Quickly.
quickly fil-
Yes.
filter water clay.
Okay.
Low permeability water moves too
Permeability,
slowly.
beta. Please read it again. Per.
Permeability
It is not free. It is not free. It is per. So
per
don't change that. Yes.
per
Meability.
millimeter. Water
Meability.
too slowly
Hmm.
retains water.
Okay. So even you have to do practice, right, beta?
Okay.
So you have to do lots of practice. Thank you. Now, what is the meaning of soil permeability? That means how much water it can hold, how much water it can drain. That is permeability. How much water it allows to go through or to pass through. So it's a rate at which water and air move through the soil. How much water is moving through the soil, how much air is moving through the soil. That rate is called as soil permeability. In case of sand, let's take the sand first. So obviously, you know, the size of the particles are big, so the space between the soil particles or the sandy particles are more. So obviously, the water and air will be able to pass through very easily. What do you say? What do you say? Am I right? Am I right, beta?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That it can pass through very easily? What do you say?
Yes.
Yes, fine. And it filters water. So permeability is high. Let's talk about clay. I told you it holds the water for a long period of time and the roots start decomposing. This is what I had told you maybe two slides earlier, right? So the water is not trickling fast. It is moving very slowly. Why? Because it is being logged. The soil is waterlogging, right? It is not allowing the water to drain. So it retains water for a long period of time. So what is the
Yes.
permeability rate? Low. What is the permeability
No.
rate, beta? It is low.
No.
LOW, low. Now over
Yes.
here you can see, let's talk about sand. Here you can see, this is sand. The water goes down, see, fast. You see over here? It trickles down very fast. So we can collect water at the bottom. Yes? Hello? Clay.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
It's very slow. It is very slow. You collect the water at the bottom, but it's very slow. It will take a lot
Yes.
of time. But in
Yes.
sandy loam, it is not high, not slow. So it is moderate. What it is called as, Peter? It is
Moderate.
moderate.
Moderate. Moderate.
Because the
Moderate.
size of the Yes, size of the particles are in between sand and the clay. So it is exact. Neither it is draining the water very fast, nor it is retaining the water for a long period of time. So it is optimum. It is the best for growing the crops.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what is the relation between soil and crops? Please,
Different part of India.
a louder,
Ma'am, can I
be a
read?
bit louder. Who is reading? Someone is reading. Who is she? Please give me your name, beta.
Sachina Bhimani.
Hasmani Fatima.
Huh?
Hasmani Fatima.
Okay, Kasmani Fatima. Please, I will be
Soil
happy.
and soil
Yes.
and crop. Different type of soil are found in different part of India. In some parts there is an clay soil. In some parts there is an loamy soil. While in some other parts there is sandy soil. Soil is affected by wind, rainfall, temperature, light, and humidity. There are some
These are,
important
please read properly. Please
these
read
are
properly.
some important
Climatic
climatic
factors.
climatic factors which affected the soil profile and beginning changing in
Bring.
the oil and
Bring changes in the soil structure. The climatic factors as well as the components of soil determine the various types of vegetation and crops that might grow in any region. Okay? Thank you, Beta. So what is the relation between soil and crops? We grow crops depending on the soil. What do you say? So because we are getting different types of soil, India is a huge country. It's a very big country. So we have all types of soils present in India. Let's say in some parts we get clay soil, somewhere we get loamy, and in others we get sandy soil. Now the formation of soil, we already know, is affected by wind, rainfall, temperature, light, and also humidity. And this is not man-made, this is natural. So these are the climatic factors which is making the soil profile. And obviously the changes that you get in the soil profile or the structure is depending upon the climate.
yes.
So the factors, the climate as well as the soil makes the difference in vegetation. So according to the soil, we grow vegetation. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Vijay? Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
fine.
Ma'am, time
Now,
up.
time up. Okay, thank you, Vita. So I hope you have understood. I will be sending you the PDF of